Hi colleagues, I'm Daniel West. In this video, I want to show you how to set up your Zoom link in a certain way. My understanding is that administration will want us to all set up our links this way in the near future in preparation for the possibility of online learning. So I hope you find this video helpful. At the end of the video, I'll also be sharing some optional but highly recommended settings for Zoom that you should probably consider and go ahead and figure out before we possibly transition to online learning. What is this link about? Well, I've got an example right here. This is my Zoom link. The school wants us to each set up a link, one link that works for all of our students all the time and embeds the password for our meeting in the link so that students never have to type it in. Or parents never have to type it in the case of Parents' Night, which is coming up. So how can you set up this link? I'll show you. First, you want to go to zoom.us and you will need to sign into your account. There we go. In Zoom, you will want to go to Settings on the left, scroll down a little bit until you see the option, here we go, Embed Passcode and Invite Link for one-click join. You want to make sure that option is selected. Next, you will want to go to Meetings, and we're going to create a meeting. So click Schedule a Meeting. And go ahead, I like to call my Zoom link my classroom. So your name, Mr. West's classroom. You can add a description if you'd like. Don't bother with a time or a duration or a time zone. Instead, click Recurring Meeting and then go down to Recurrence, and instead of daily, weekly, or monthly, click No Fixed Time. Essentially, this will allow you to start or end your meeting at any time you like without having to schedule it in advance. For meeting ID, click Personal Meeting ID. That will create consistency within the division. For your passcode, mine is ACAD. Set it to be whatever you like. Make sure waiting room is checked on. These next settings, I would say, are optional, but go ahead and select which of those you like, and then click Save. Once you do that, you will get some information, including this link right here, and this is the all-important link. You'll notice that it's a little longer than maybe ones you've seen before, and that's because it's including the password encrypted at the end of the link. What you can do with this link is copy it and then put it in an email like this to your students. If you ever want to start a Zoom meeting, you can use this link. So you can put it in your browser, just paste it in there, click enter, and it will ask you, hey, do you want to start a Zoom meeting? And you can click yes and start. So that is how you can create a link which is the same all the time. You can use for all of your classes and which your students can rely on without any confusion as the way to find you. I like to think of it as like my digital space where I exist online. If you're still interested, I want to show you a few other optional settings that I think you should strongly consider in preparation for online learning. So let's go back to Zoom and let's click on the Settings tab. As I go through this, you'll see that I have quite a few settings on and off. Feel free to use these or not. I would just want to show you the ones that are probably the most important. Here's one of them. This says private chat. Allow meeting participants to send a private one-to-one message to another participant. We probably don't want this. My guess is in your class, you probably don't want students direct messaging each other. If that's the case, make sure this option is turned off. Don't worry, you'll still be able to send messages to your students and they'll still be able to send messages to you. But private one-to-one messages between students will be eliminated. Next setting to consider, a little further down here, screen sharing. This says allow hosts and participants to share their screen or content during meetings. You probably want this on because you want to be able to show your students what's on your screen. However, you can control who can share. I have it set to all participants because I want my students to be able to share, but certainly you can choose host only if that is what makes the most sense for you. Going a bit further, you will want breakout rooms most likely turned on. If you haven't tried them yet, breakout rooms are a great feature that essentially allows you to split your meeting into smaller pods of students that you can then move between. It's the closest you can get to group work in an online setting. So make sure that is on. And if you want to assign participants to breakout rooms when scheduling, so kind of in advance, you can check this button. Last but not least, let's scroll to the top of the page again. Let's click on recording. I highly recommend having automatic recording turned on. What this means is that anytime you start a Zoom meeting, it will automatically begin recording that session, and it will record it onto your device. The reason I recommend this is because it's easy to forget to record, and that's important either in the case where you need to send the class to other students or where you're meeting one-on-one with a student and need to record the session for security purposes. So I highly recommend checking out that setting. And that's it. Obviously, there are a lot more settings out there. If you want to talk about this or you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Nikki Chester. Nikki's been working on this a lot as well, and we'd be happy to help. Good luck setting up your Zoom account.